All right. Looks like YouTube is going. Oh, I'll be forgetting how bad this camera is on the YouTube side. But listen, guys, you ain't here to look at me anyway, right? You can hear me. If you can hear me, we're good. All right. Let me see. Let me do a few more of these. What's up, guys? It's your girl Jetty. Let's get this going. Let's catch Facebook up. There we go. Facebook's finally with us. Working. Everybody working. All right. What's up, guys? It's your girl Jetty. Empress Jetty, the Rabble Rouser. Coming at you live from the She Nation Temple. It feels so cool to say that, guys. I am super excited. I tell you, the Most High has been doing some really cool and amazing things lately. So yes, we are officially a temple here, and we are licensed to train and ordain ministers in our faith and do all the things that a religious temple is licensed to do. So that's super cool, right? I'm excited about that. So coming at you live from the She Nation Temple. And this is, I don't remember what we call the evening. Oh, it's our nightcap. It's our nightcap. And I'm Jetty, Empress Jetty, the Rabble Rouser. You're watching Black Enlightenment, where we're broadcasting consciousness. And I don't know how conscious tonight's content is, guys, but I gotta go. I just want to, put it out there what's going on, okay? Because I think that it would really do us as single people a lot of good to do some serious growing up and to lose these strange notions we have about what partnership means. And so for the YouTube people, you see that I have entitled this, Why Am I Single? Facebook people, this is Why Am I Single, right? So the main reason, to be honest, why I am single is because what happens is I'm a very dynamic person. I'm a highly productive person. I'm a very progressive person, right? I'm a person with a very big, commanding kind of an energy. When I walk into and out of rooms, my entry doesn't go unnoticed. My absence is typically felt, right? I speak with authority. All of those things mean what? I am attractive. I don't mean this is attractive. I mean my energy is very attractive. People are drawn to me, right? And a lot of you have that same type of energy that people are drawn to you, right? You are attractive. When I say attractive, I don't just mean that you have a pretty face or a booty that somebody wants to squeeze or, pecs that somebody wants to touch or something like that. That's not what I mean. I mean that you have a force, an energy that people want to be around, right? Now, that may sound weird for me to be saying that that is a huge part of why I'm single. One would think that that would be a part of why I'm not single, right? Because I was able to attract some awesome guy and yay, sail off into the sunset. But the reason being so bigly attractive is a hindrance to being single is you attract a lot of unsuitable people who want to attach to you for one reason or another, right? So people will see your big energy. They see that you light up a room. They see that people respect you. They see that you get things done. They see that people come to you for advice. They see that people depend on you. You take care of lots of people. You're compassionate. You're wise. All of this stuff. And they want to attach to that, right? And so That's not a bad thing to want to attach to that. That's wisdom, right? The problem is in dating, when you're that kind of person, is people will attach to that and they will want to own it in this way where they want to be associated with it in a way that when people think of you, they think of them. And when people think of them, they think of you. It's kind of like a coattails, riding off your coattails kind of an energy, right? Now, again, that's not a bad thing. That's actually very honoring, right? If people want to be associated with you because of your reputation and your character and your energy and all this, and they want to be attached to you, they want people to think of you when they think of them and think of them when they think of you. That is a very high compliment, right? So that in and of itself isn't a problem. The problem is in the vetting process to discern which of those attachments are healthy attachments that are leading to balanced partnerships, and which of those attachments essentially should be a healing relationship where the relationship is not going to be balanced. It can't be balanced. It'll never be balanced because these people that are attached to you are attached because you're filling a void in them, but they're not able to reciprocate back to you, right? So I have that happen a lot, guys. And I don't just have that happen in romance. I have that happen in friendships, in business, all kinds of things where people want to attach to my big energy, but they aren't really built to be able to either bring something of significant value to the table where it's a balanced relationship, or they're unable to keep up the energy that it takes to stay in pace with someone like me, right? I'm super energetic. I live off of probably 4 to 5 hours of sleep most nights, right? Maybe 6 lately, actually, to be honest. More like 5 to 6 hours of sleep. And I'm on go all day, right? Um, and so here's what keeps happening in the dating scene. And I know it's not just me, and that's why I'm talking about it, right? I literally know it's not just me because people are talking about it. My homegirls, pardon me, people are like having the same struggle. So I'm not having this talk to big up the people like me. I'm having this talk for any of you out there who are attracted to, dreaming of, fantasizing, pursuing, wooing, or dating someone like me. I want you to listen to this message and think long and hard about it, okay? So here's what happens, okay? People see this big personality. They see a person who's a mover and a shaker. They see a person who's not struggling, who's not always crying the blues. They see a person who's insightful, who's interesting, who's different, who's not like everyone else. And they want to be attached to it. And they want to be attached to it in such a way that they want to be the counterpart. They want to be your mate, right? If that person does not have, first of all, a sense of self-love and confidence, right, in who they are, it's a no-go, right? Because I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. The person that lacks confidence in who they are is going to portray themselves to be, and I know that people are going to have trouble with this message because I'm going to say things like not your equal or your equal. And who do you think you are? You're better than people. Well, actually, yeah, I do kind of think I'm better than a lot of people, but that's beside the point. There's a lot of people that are better than me too. But that's not what we're talking about, right? What we're talking about is, because that ultimately doesn't really, whatever, we're not going down that rabbit hole, right? So they're going to present, we've all been taught to lie upon meeting people, because we've been taught to try to impress people, right? Which means Uh, I don't know. I don't know why this example came to mind. Just whatever. Okay, so like for instance, let's say I eat boogers, and I do not eat boogers, but let's just say that I did. And wait, as a side note, my daughter tells this story of I was sitting in my room at some point, and she says she came in and I like picked a boogie and wiped it on something, she said. I don't know if I believe this story, but the way she was dying laughing when she was telling this story, she believes that she saw me wipe a boogie on something, right? But I can't imagine the context in which I don't even remember what she said I wiped it on. She said I wiped it on like a shirt or something. I don't know, but like somewhere you don't wipe a boogie, right? But anyway, I don't know why. I'm always telling these stories that I probably shouldn't share because it makes you guys like she's a weirdo, right? But like, this is my youngest. She's not like none of my kids are big liars or anything, but like she legit holds to this story that she came in my room and I like picked a boogie and then like wiped it on like. I have to ask her where she says I wiped it, but I don't even know what that's about, right? But let's just say that I eat boogers, right? I eat boogers and I meet you, and I know that you're not going to think that's great. So I never divulge to you that I eat boogers. And if there's ever a conversation about it, I'm not going to speak up and be like, well, you know, as everybody's going, oh my God, kids are so gross how they just eat boogers. I'm not going to be like, well, actually, I still enjoy a good booger, you know, myself. We've been taught not to do that, right? You save the parts, the unfavorable aspects of yourself. You're supposed to save revealing those until people are heavily invested in you, right? That is a very serious trick and trap of the enemy, right? It is a very dangerous game to play in intimacy because when you're always putting your best foot forward or putting on your best face or however you want to say it, right? You're always interacting with someone in a way that you want them to feel favorable toward you. You are eliminating the possibility of an authentic experience with that person. So you may gain their approval and love and interest and investment, but if you are constantly having to hide the aspects of you that you do not think that they're going to approve of until they're very invested, if that person is a person like me, by then I feel betrayed by you. Because why wouldn't you tell me this information sooner, especially if it's something that you know I'm not going to feel favorable about? So waiting until I'm invested and then telling me, to me, see, that's a setup. I would prefer if someone would be like, okay, so I know you're not going to like this, but like, I still enjoy an occasional booger, right? Then I'll be like, oh, that's so gross. And we'll go from there, right? Like maybe I don't want to be with you because I don't want to kiss you. And what if there's a booger on your lip or on your teeth or something? And that's just gross. Like, I don't want to be with you. Then, okay, fine. We're not going to ever kiss, but you might be my homie, right? Or maybe I'm like, oh my gosh, I eat boogers too, right? Ha ha ha. And we sail happily off into the sunset. Or maybe I'm like, oh my God, that is so disgusting. Please promise me that if you eat a booger, you're not going to kiss me within 2 hours of any of your booger eating. Like, promise me that, right? Who knows? Who knows how it's going to develop? But if you withhold the fact that you eat your boogers until the person is invested in you, that is a deception. And so we've all been taught that we're supposed to impress and make good first impressions and never let people see us sweat, never let people see us vulnerable, never expose your faults because people will throw it up in your face later. All of this stuff that people have been trained to do relationally in order to get what they want out of people, right? All of that stuff are huge red flags to a nigga like me. right? Because I thrive in authenticity. It's my comfort zone, it's my reality. So what keeps happening to me in dating is that I have, first of all, I attract really cool people because I'm really stuck up, right? I do not mind blocking people whose vibe is just, mm-mm. I've had entirely too many relationships in the last, I'll say, 2 years. Um, yes, exactly. Presenting your representative. Okay, so for YouTube, Brother Michael on Facebook is saying it's called presenting your representative. Most people don't reveal their authentic self because of fear of rejection, right? And that's exactly, thank you, Michael, for giving me the proper current terminology for that. So, so for me, I'm not, first of all, that kind of weirds me out. Like, I don't know who these people are that like don't that don't believe they have any flaws, or that don't feel like that's your business, or like this other, like I just don't exist in that place. I need authenticity, right? So what keeps happening is I'm stuck up. I'm super stuck up. I don't mind blocking people out of my life whose vibes are off, because of the last couple of years I have suffered such serious betrayals. You guys cannot imagine. But what it did was it taught me how not to build relationships, right? Because all of those relationships that are now betrayals, right, were relationships where I had been accommodating and allowing people to exist in a false relationship with me, because I wasn't holding them to the same level of accountability. I wasn't holding them to the same level of authenticity. I was accepting what they were presenting to me and working with it as best I could. And so what that created was a scenario where these cats don't even really know me, because they only have the experience of me dealing with an inferior version of them. And by inferior, I mean incomplete, right? So I don't know. So then, because I generate, I attract really cool and interesting people in general, I always have really great dating options. Okay. I just do. I don't have a story of like all men are dogs, all men are losers, black men this, women. I don't have that reality. Like, I have had the privilege, I guess, of just really like having solid people around me in general. And so when you have solid people around you in general and you're single, that means you have solid options, right? The problem, though, is that I'm an exceptional person. Okay? Exceptional people must be with exceptional people, or with people who are secure enough in their averageness, which there's nothing wrong with averageness. I'm a queen, right? I'm an empress. I'm a literal empress. It would stain my crown and my soul if I hated average people, right? Everyday normal people, common people, are the lifeblood of every nation that has ever existed. It's not the kings and the queens and the royalty that's the lifeblood of the nation. It's the regular everyday people. However, everyday people and royals mixing is hugely problematic, because the codes of conduct, the concerns, the social cues and taboos, they are completely different, right? So only a person who is either as exceptional as the person that they are seeking to date, or who is completely secure in their averageness, should be with an exceptional person. You cannot be an average, and by average, I'm talking about average good man or average good woman, right? I don't mean average like run-of-the-mill losers out there. I mean, you're a good man, you're a good woman, but you're not especially exceptional in the ways that I talked about exceptionalism in the beginning of this, right? You don't necessarily own the room when you walk in it, right? People don't necessarily call you for advice. People don't necessarily depend on you. You're not carrying a lot of people. You're not, you go to a regular job, you're not like building businesses and initiatives and taking on the problems of the world. You live your simple life. You go to work, you're faithful, you're diligent, you're a good parent, you're a good person, right? For me, that's what we're going to call average for this conversation. So unless you are really super secure in how average you are, you should not seek romantic endeavors with someone who is super exceptional. I know that what happens is you can imagine your life with this exceptional person being this roller coaster ride of excitement and accomplishments and attention and all of this stuff that you, in your mind, you think this is going to be great. But what is going to happen eventually is this person, this exceptional person, is going to outpace you. They're going to outpace you. And so your laid back approach to life, you're going to feel betrayed when that exceptional person does not slow their pace to spend time with you. And they're going to feel betrayed when you, an average person, expect them to slow down and spend time with you. Because that's not how they move and operate in the world. That's not how you get to be exceptional at any of the things that I just mentioned. By being an average, if you were average, you wouldn't be exceptional. That's what that means, right? So what happens is, guys, first of all, remember, I'm picking from really awesome guys, right? So really awesome, but super average guys will come to an exceptional person like me, and they will present themselves, as Brother Michael said, they're going to bring their representative. And their representative is going to be, they're going to present an I am narrative that more properly contextualized should be an I would like to be narrative, right? And so when they present to a person like me this I am narrative, and then I buy in, and then I go to build. Now I'm building on what they've presented, and so I have expectations based on what they presented. And so here's what happens, guys. Then when I am like, or people like me, we're like, well, wait a minute. You said that you were a world-class dog trainer. And so now we've got 10 dogs. I bought 10 dogs so that we could train them and sell them, for security, for families. And I got the dogs. So are you going to train these dogs? And now is when we find out that you're actually not a world-class dog trainer. You actually only ever trained one dog, yours, and he's not that well trained, right? Or maybe your one dog is super well trained, but actually you didn't train that dog, right? Or you did train that dog, but that's the only dog you've ever trained, and you're not prepared for 10 dogs. And you're not prepared to give those dogs the level of training that would be required if we were providing security dogs. So now I done went out and bought 10 dogs, right? I done built a whole dog kennel. And because people don't want to disappoint in all of this, they're going to let the exceptional person do all of that. They're going to let the exceptional person work out business plans. They're going to let the exceptional person invest. They're going to let the exceptional person plan. And they're going to be, yes, go, let's do it, let's do it. And then when it gets time for performance, it's a bunch of hemming and hawing or ghosting, right? Like there's something we're supposed to do now. And so they go, MIA, or they're going to pick a fight. And here's the fight that they pick, right? Here's what they're going to say. When you say, I don't accept this is okay, you set me up, right? You lied. You said that you were able to do X, Y, and Z. You're not able to do X, Y, and Z. And that was what we built this on. This is where they go. You can't judge me. You don't have the right to judge me. Only God can judge me. Now, first of all, I don't know where you people got this notion that only God can judge you, but you know better than that, because on tonight, if you punch somebody in the face at their job and get arrested, you will see a judge about that. And whatever they say about the situation is going to stand. So I don't know how many actual judges there are in this country alone, but there are literally thousands of them. So there are literally thousands of people in this country alone who can judge you, and they are not the Most High. But in addition to them, there are thousands more still of righteous people. And our commandment as righteous people is to literally judge righteously. We actually have a higher authority than any of these courts to judge righteously. Why? Why do we have the command and the assignment to judge righteously? Because if we judge righteously, now you have time between the incident and your death to repent, so that's a judgment you don't have to face in the afterlife. That is literally why we're commanded to judge righteously. Commanded, assigned. So this willy-nilly Roman nonsense about nobody can judge you but the Father is a bunch of bullcrap. This idea of judge not lest you be judged, that everybody thinks means nobody judge. No, what it means is, first of all, don't be out there doing stuff that you claim you got a problem with. And second of all, don't be hard on people that do the same stuff that you do. That is what judge not lest you be judged means. It means those two things. It does not mean we do not get to judge, right? So when the average person, when their averageness comes to light and it becomes apparent that they don't have the energy, the skills, the talent, the experience, the whatever it is that doesn't match this person's exceptionalism, when it becomes revealed, then this is the part where it breaks down and Jedi disengages. And maybe if I were a more patient or different type of woman, I might be able to get through it and still have a man, okay? But this is where Jedi tosses them overboard and be like, next, okay? Now, the average people, because they're used to dealing with average people, and this is just how average people conduct themselves, they avoid accountability. And so they're going to go to the you can't judge me place, the you don't know my life place, and then here's the place that I really want to talk about, okay? They go to the place where now they want to devalue you and make you feel like you're not as exceptional as you know you are. In a nutshell, friends, that single issue is why I am single today. Because I and other exceptional people, and everybody watching right now, y'all are exceptional people. So, you know, I ain't lying. Y'all notice how they do us, right? So, I personally, I can't get past that. Like, I can't get past that, right? You're not going to, just because you don't know who you are or haven't come to terms with who you are definitely not going to convince me I'm not who I am, right? So then come out the weird accusations, right? You swear, and they this kind of stuff. You swear you're some kind of ballerina to an actual ballerina. Like, I don't swear I'm some kind of ballerina. Like, I'm on my way to Broadway to pirouette across the stage. So probably anybody who's ever seen me dance would swear I'm some kind of ballerina, right? You ain't the best ballerina dancer out there ever. You act like you're all that. I don't act like I'm all that. You act like I'm all that, which is why you're here, right? This kind of breakdown is why so many exceptional people are single. Now, best case scenario, exceptional people would link with exceptional people. But the fact is, too many of us are nursing relationships. We're taking care of too many people on an intimate level. And it's like if you're an exceptional person, you're like a nucleus, and then all this stuff is swirling around you, swirling around you. And so it's hard for exceptional people to get to other exceptional people because there's all this energy around them. There's all this stuff going on around them, right? And so how do you step out of the realm in which you're having impact to go and interrupt someone else's realm where they're having impact and build, right? The only way that that happens is if you have, like, well, not to say the only way, but the most likely and feasible way for that to happen is if you find someone who is exceptional in a way that complements what you're doing or the ways that you're exceptional or your life in some way, or someone who is whose exceptionalism doesn't conflict, right? Because like if a person is one person is exceptional for how spontaneous they are, and the other person is exceptional for how well planned they are. What's the word for that? What's the word? Michael, you're still in the room. What's the word I'm trying to look for? Those like highly organized people, like type A's, right? Like they, you don't want to just because they're known to be super exceptional, if their level of exceptionalism isn't really compatible with yours, it's going to be like chaos, because there's all this whole world and this world, and they can collide. So it needs to be a situation where the two nucleuses can come together like this, and then both of their exceptionalism can swirl around the both of them, right? So I'm not even trying to keep you. They do, Brother Michael. Okay, so YouTube, Brother Michael says people want the benefits of accountability without being accountable. That's exactly what they want. They don't want to admit the level of, first of all, investment that they're willing to put out, right? They don't want to admit that they are incompetent in areas, right? Or that they are weak in areas. They don't want to admit this stuff. And so they'll allow you to invest based on these lies. And then, but they want the benefits as if they were all of those things, right? It's like, it's just not going to work. And so exceptional people are finding ourselves alone more and more and more as time goes by, because we just don't have a tolerance for it. And there's only so many times a person can hear someone say, like, if you're a dancer, there's only so many times in your life that you can listen to someone say something like, you're not even that great of a dancer, or you swear you're the best dancer. I know plenty of dancers better than you. There's only so many times that an exceptional person can even tolerate that hitting their ears, because at a point it just becomes, it's like, just becomes absurd, right? And just unbearable, right? So then you spending less and less and less time building intimacy with regular people. So then what you just do is you just start developing superficial relationships so that you can serve regular people in these different capacities. But then there's no space for true intimacy, because intimacy, as Brother Michael is pointing out, is based on accountability. A person who's intimate with you needs to be able to say to you, you disappointed me, you let me down, you hung me out to dry. You threw me under the bus. You stabbed me in the back. They need to be able to say that to you, and you need to be able to examine it, understand it, see what they're talking about so that you can implement corrective behavior, right? Which is all things that exceptional people, not all exceptional people, but overwhelmingly exceptional people have gotten used to those kinds of conversations, because that's how you get really good at stuff. The only way you get really, really excellent at something is when you're even a little bit off, you correct it, right? So if every time you're a little bit off, you correct it, you're going to become 10 times better than the person that doesn't do that, that only corrects it when they're way off, or is like, well, it's good enough. The people that are like, it's good enough, yeah, well, good enough for all practical purposes, but not exceptional or excellent. And so I just want to say, like, if you know that you're just a regular person, right? First of all, there's no shame in that, right? Either you'll be alone or you will have compromise. Compromising can drown the potential of exceptional people. Michael, and that was from Brother Michael YouTube. Yes, exactly, Michael. And that's what I did for probably 40 years of my life. I compromised my exceptionalism for relationships, right? And so it took me until I was like 40 years old to say, I am going to be as great as I can be, no matter who it overshadows, or who it outshines, or who it upsets, or who it makes uncomfortable, or any of that stuff. Like, I was 40 when I started to give myself permission to be truly exceptional. And I was always a weirdo. So I'm not saying like I was a normal person before then. I was always a weirdo, but I wouldn't shine. Like, I wouldn't just go ahead and shine. I dimmed my shine for 40 years. I dimmed my shine to be more compatible in relationships with people. And I don't just mean like romance. I'm talking about friendships. I'm talking about relationship with siblings, even to an extent, relationship with my parents. Like, that's real, So, but at this point, like, I'm too old to play them kind of games. Like, everything that's in me needs to get out of me before I leave this realm. And the fact is, I don't know if y'all are paying attention, but the Most High is not leaving like dead weight around. If you claim to serve him and you ain't doing what you're supposed to be doing, the Most High is taking us out of here. Like, taking us out of here, right? And I personally want to live to be 101 years old. So I got to stay on my P's and Q's, because I ain't trying to get taken out the game because I was somewhere not giving my best, my all, because I didn't want to embarrass someone else, or I didn't want to take their shine away, or I don't have time for that, right? So if you're an average person, first of all, let go of this self-loathing for average people. There's nothing wrong with average people. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. It's like people like hate being a sheep. Oh, I'm not a sheep, I'm a lion. Like, I don't know why people think lions are better than sheep, but they're like not, okay? I mean, maybe for some purposes, like, I don't know, if you need to tear your way through a door, you might prefer a lion, or, I don't know, you need to chase down a wildebeest, you might prefer a lion. But like, there's nothing wrong with sheep. Sheep are really nice. They're nice animals, They're docile, they're peaceful, they're really like nice guys. There's nothing wrong with being a sheep. There's nothing wrong with being an average person. And so I think that what we need to happen is we need average people to be more confident in how average they are, so that if they're attracted to an exceptional person, they can bring their full best self forward, which is a really awesome average person, versus to put forward this false idea of exceptionalism and enter into a false treaty, right? Or a false contract. And so average people need to accept that they're average and joy in that, celebrate that. And then if you are attracted to exceptional people, here's the problem that you must conquer, okay? You cannot expect, like Brother Michael said, you cannot expect that average person to now shrink their life back so that you are comfortable. We can't keep doing it. So you got to pick a struggle, right? But I would say, best case scenario, be with somebody on your level. Be with somebody that's brings the same intensity as you. Be with somebody who has the same sex drive as you. Be with somebody who has the same approach to career as you do, right? Be with someone who you don't care about higher education. They don't care about higher education. Don't be a person that doesn't care anything about higher education and get with some freaking bookworm and then they're boring you every day trying to like read to you and trying to make you study pollen books on your lap. Here, read this. This is good. You're going to love it, right? Like, I'm not going to love it. I don't like reading, okay? So take your nerd self somewhere else, right? Like, go do that with your other friends, right? But then when they're like, okay, I'll go do it with my other friends, and then their other friends are reading and they're in there being so smart and brainiac, you know, we call it nerding out. They're in there like, you know, talking astrophysics like we talk, you know, making apple pie. Oh, you just got a this and you just got a that. And oh, yeah, well, this theory of this. And they're just kicking it like that. You don't have the right to now go start feeling bad and make them feel bad for being them, right? And that's what you average people are doing to us exceptional people. It's making us mean. Yeah. Oh, I thought somebody was on the door. It's making us really mean, guys. And the last thing you want on your hands is an exceptionally mean person. We're already exceptional. Do you think that we are not just as exceptional in our dysfunctions or our anger or our rage or our vindictiveness as we are in all this other stuff that you've enjoyed the benefits of our exceptionalism? Yeah, we're exceptionally gracious. We're exceptionally understanding. We're exceptionally insightful. Womp, womp, womp. We are also exceptionally vindictive. We are exceptionally like, don't start none, won't be none. Hey, Unc, good to see you in this room, right? Don't start none, won't be none. So this is me imploring average people to be okay with being average. You wouldn't be so like googly eyes over exceptional people if you really loved yourself for who you are as an average person, because you would have an appreciation for average people. You would have an appreciation for people like you, people who do not read, people who do not whatever, right? Do not work out, right? Like I don't work out. I don't work out. I am definitely not like running after like the workout king of the year, whoever he might be. I don't know even who he might be. Why? Because I'm sure he's going to be fine as all get up. His body's the freaking machine, right? It's this well sculpted specimen. He's going to look amazing. And I'm going to, oh boy, I can see myself with him, right? And then the first thing he's going to want to do is drag my flabby tail to the gym. Now I got to be in the gym 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 days a week because he wants my body to be a machine like his body, right? But I don't want to be that dedicated to turning my body into a machine. So why don't I leave him alone and let him find a girl at the gym or wherever workout kings and queens hang out? Where do they hang out? Smoothie shop or something. I don't know. The spandex store. I don't know where they hang out. But I need to let him go do that, right? Me, as a very average, flabby person, should not be running around trying to woo and convince workout people, right, And just because I happen to have a slim physique and with, you really kind of can't tell how out of shape I am. People assume I'm like in such great shape, which is hilarious to me. Put me and like some person who is morbidly obese together and tell us both to run a mile. And ain't no telling which one of us is going to pass out first. I am very much out of shape. I can't run a lap around the house, okay? But I could trick some workout person into thinking that I'm like into it and stuff, right? Listen, the struggle, right? But why would I do that? Why would I want to? Why? Because I like how they look, right? Oh, this is going to be great for Facebook, right? Like every time you turn around, here's me and Mr. Workout Man with his shirt off, right? For Facebook and stuff. And I want to like rub on him and baby oil him down and all this, right? Because I can see myself in all of these capacities. So now I'm going to let this poor guy get stuck with somebody like me who know good and black sight well. I am definitely not getting up out the bed at 5 o'clock to go no gym and sweat with you before. Wait, that it's already bad enough if that's what we're going to do with our day. But these cats do that and then go to work and stuff. Like, nah, after the workout, I need a nap. I ain't going no work. I'm not doing, y'all crazy, right? So like, okay, so I'm not into all that, right? I'm like more like going to sit here and eat some pretzels and stuff, right? So then I need to understand that as a person who doesn't put that kind of attention into my physical body, I probably should date people with that same kind of approach to their physical body. And now, here's where y'all get in trouble. Now you start looking at the other people that don't work out. This one's too skinny, that one's too fat for you with your average self. You don't like this one? He need a few pounds because he don't look like Idris Elba or nobody, right? He need to put on some weight. He need to work out. And this one over here, he got a pot belly, right? Oh, he got a beer belly and whatever, right? Like, see, a sister like me, okay? Because now we're talking about how I'm average, right? Because I talked about how exceptional I was in the beginning, but that's only in some areas, right? In some areas I'm average, in some areas I'm quite below average. Like housekeeping, I don't know. I'm going to say I'm probably, if it's a scale of 1 to 10, and 1 is you're a total slob, and 10 is you're a freaking neat freak, I'm probably a 4, guys. Like in my real life, I don't really make a lot of messes, but I don't clean up the messes that I make. You want the proof? Let me give y'all some proof. Look at my room. Pile there, pile there. Look down here. Okay? Because I don't mind being transparent. And for real, anybody on this live could come visit me at my house. So if you came to visit me at my house, I'm so trifling about the house, I'm not even going to clean up when I hear you're coming. No, I'm not. No, definitely not. I'm going to have to move something over on the couch for you to even sit down. That's like how I'm living, right? So that's an area where I'm below average, right? I'm not a great housekeeper. I'm messy, right? So I'm about average when it comes to upkeep of my body, right? Like I'm not like the most out of shape out there because I tend to just really crave healthy foods. So I don't put a lot of junk in my body except for like my addiction to ice cream and pretzels, which I don't really consider pretzels that junky because they're like nice and baked and stuff, but they are white flour. But ice cream, there's no getting around. Ice cream is just, pure junk food. Although I have tried to get away with, but it's calcium, right? But we know that that's, foolishness. So, so what I have come to terms with is I must pick from people whose bodies look like they mostly take care of them, which means, it's already kind of like bigger guys anyway, so it's not like hard for me. My attraction is already there, but I am not a person who can turn my nose up at less than an Adonis figure. Because I don't put any work into my figure, and to expect that someone else should be exceptional in the way that they take care of their body, so that me, an average person who takes care of my body, can have the benefit of their exceptionalism. But then I'm not going to reciprocate that benefit back to them. They don't get to have the exceptional, toned, firm, everything standing up experience, right? Like, that is only fair, guys. It's only fair, right? So be okay with the parts of you that are average. Be okay with the parts of you that are below average. And be okay with the parts of you that are exceptional. But don't play those games. Don't play any of those games with authenticity and you being so okay with your level of averageness or below averageness. You're so okay with it that you expect someone else who is exceptional in that area to accept your averageness, and then hold it against them when they're like, listen, my woman who has to walk beside me cannot be doing all that jiggling. You need to tighten it up, girl. I look like Adonis. I look like a Greek god. Ha ha, right? And like, you look like some biscuits fresh out the can. Like, that's not going to work, right? Now, he's not stuck up, mean, horrible, this and that. Or her. She's not a terrible person because she's the fitness queen. And here you come with your big old beer belly and stuff, dragging your feet on through the room, right? Cookie crumbs on your beard, right? And when you step to her and she's like, yeah, bruh, no. I mean, you're nice, but no. She's not some kind of stuck up, horrible person for that. And don't be lying, talking about, I really need somebody like you to motivate me to work out, man. I wanted to get in shape all my life, and all I need is somebody like you to be in my life so I can get in shape. And then she says, all right, this is wonderful. And then y'all connect and y'all vibing, and then y'all, you move into like it's a relationship now and all of that. And then as soon as she's or he is fully invested in the relationship, now you stop working out. You stop sit-ups, push-ups, chin-ups, everything. You don't do nothing. You don't run no laps. You don't bench press. You don't do no curls. You don't do nothing no more. As soon as the person's invested. Y'all better stop that. That's how people get themselves killed. That's how people get hurt. Because, right? So that's why I'm single, guys. That's why I'm single, because I am an extremely exceptional person in way too many areas. Compatibility is very, very difficult to find a match for myself. The only way that I have been able to build relationships historically is how Brother Michael said, which is compromising my exceptionalism by becoming more normal, learning more normal ways of thinking, being, behaving, moving in the world, so that I can fit in with people more. And that worked, for a while. I mean, I have some pretty amazing love stories in my life, right? But it can't last, because at a point you will return to your authentic self. And when that happens, then the relationship is in trouble, right? So I don't know, guys. I don't know what's going to happen for me. I don't know. It's getting kind of depressing, because there's some really, really cool guys that I've had to be like, and not because of their lack of exceptionalism, but because of the thing that happens when that comes to the head and when accountability comes into play. Like that mean place that people go to, that now they want to tell you you ain't as special as you think you are, or you ain't as special as they told you. See, that's the one that really gets me. They want you to think that you're not as special as they told you you were when they showed up. You got somebody to come and all they can say for 6 months, they stalked every single ballet performance you done had. They were there in the front row throwing flowers. Either you come to dislike them or they come to dislike you. Yep. Yeah. That's, you come, you show up, you flowers, 6 months. This lady, you are stalking this lady. You at the theater, at the rehearsals, stalk, telling her she's the best ballerina you ever seen in your life. You ain't never seen nobody pirouette like that in your whole entire life. And you've been to a whole lot of ballet shows. And that's all you got to say for 6 months. And she finally give you Raggedy Behind a chance. And y'all date and this and that and hit it off and great. And as soon as you get comfortable, now she got to hear about how she ate the most best dancer in the world, or you act like your ballet career is the most important thing. There's other things that are important in life, and that kind of like, give us free, because I'm tired of that. There, I'm telling you, it's turning me mean, and y'all know I'm already mean. As much as I've been fighting to like not be mean, y'all know I'm a mean. I have like a mean streak in me. I have like a F you. Go to hell with gasoline draws on. I got matches. I'm kicking you down into the fiery pit mean. Like I have that in me. And this makes me meaner because I'm tired of compromising to be able to interact with people. And I'm definitely over people trying to tell me I'm not who I am. Right? So that leaves the dating pool pretty slim. And I know that exceptional people out there are going through this, as well as average people out there are going through it, because somebody told you that you're supposed to be dating a 10. Somebody told you that you're supposed to be dating a man who has a car and a house and not a renting. He can't be renting. He's supposed to own his own house. He's supposed to have a car. He's supposed to run his own business and have a job. He's supposed to, take care of the kids, and he's supposed to do all this exceptional, wonderful, amazing stuff. And like we're all taught, like, if he's not a 10, you deserve better. Everybody thinks they deserve so much better. You deserve better. You deserve better. You deserve better. But like them 10s put in work for that 10, right? Them people that have properties and businesses and extended families that are partners and people that they're taking care of, and speeches to go give, and books to sign, and all this kind of stuff, right? That takes work. And it's just, you got to be built for that. You got to be built for even being next to a person like that, because they don't have time to indulge the stuff that regular people indulge. They don't have time to listen to the crap on TV and the radio. So you're going to be like, you're so lame. You don't ever know anything about what's going on. They don't, because they don't have a TV. They don't even own a television. So therefore, no, they never know what's going on. And if they do own a television, they never turn it on. Okay. So when you come and you want them to veg out and watch, Netflix and chill with you for 4 hours, you might get the first 2 hours, the movie, out of them. But the next 2 hours, they're going to be sitting next to you as you're watching the movie. Or they're going to be like me when you're watching the movie, right? So link up with the people that are on your level, that vibe how you vibe, guys. That's what I have to say. And that's why I'm single, because I can't find the people that really vibe how I vibe. Intensity. I'm an intense person. And fortunately or unfortunately, I'm not sure, but both of my parents trained me from infancy, like from a small child. I was trained in like communication stuff that is just other level stuff, right? Now, I don't expect anybody to match that. I mean, someone could. I'm definitely not like the most exceptional out there about it. But in the general populace, that level of like emotional accountability, introspection, self-awareness, appreciation for the other, ability to compromise, ability empathize and sympathize and walk in another person's shoes and all this kind of stuff. Like, I'm exceptional in all that kind of crap, right? And it's hard to find people that can interact in that kind of a way. So yeah, I hope that we will learn to just accept ourselves for who we are, and that way we will be excited when we see those reflections of us in other people and not disgusted, right? You're like fat and you like to eat cookies and fried chicken and stuff. Be with somebody that likes cookies and fried chicken. Don't be with some kale baking, sprout serving individual. Like, why would you do that? Like, be with somebody that likes cookies and fried chicken and don't mind getting fat and be fat and happy together. So what? Self-acceptance is a lovely thing. It's a lot of people out there that don't mind being fat and eating cookies. It's a lot of people. They don't mind being fat. They don't mind squeezing fat people. I like fat people. I do. I like squeezing fat people. I like them hugs. Them hugs are nice. I like that. A lot of people out here like that. I actually don't like the experience. I'm like hard body workout guys, and you hug them, and it's like hugging like this. It's all hard. It's gross to me. I would listen. 9 times out of 10, I'm going to take the soft body guy over the hard body guy. I am, because I like the way that feels better, right? What's wrong with that? Now, if you say to a soft body guy, man, you so nice and squishy and squeezy, I just love it. You're amazing. They're going to be upset. Or you try to, why would you even say that to me? That's so mean. No, it's not so mean. It's so true. You're nice to hug. And want some cookies? I don't know, guys. What are we going to do, right? I watch all this stuff on like dating and romance and right? And I realize that it boils down to people not accepting who they are, so that when they see those reflections of themselves, they're repulsed by it, and they want the thing that's not like who they are, even if they have to lie and cheat to get it. They want the thing that is the least like them, and then they're going to pretend that that is them because they feel bad about who they are, and that's just. And it's not just common people that do that. We exceptional people have done like that's how we get through most of our days, is by doing that, right? By like compromising who we are to fit into these norms, right? A lot of times. So it's not like exceptional people are exempt from that, right? Excuse me, nerds don't like nerds, right? It's like you ask the nerd who the nerd doesn't have the crush on the other nerd. The nerd has the crush on the cheerleader girl, the popular girl, right? They don't want the little nerd over there with his nose in the book and the braces, you got your nose in the book and you got your braces, you got your weird little stuff you talk about. Your mom still, folds your laundry too and stuff like that. So then when you meet the guy that's like that, now you're all, oh my God, he's gross. I want the star football player. I want the head of the drama club, because somebody told you that you're not acceptable. And so you're trying to level up vicariously through someone who reminds you of everything you're not. And then people wonder why relationships don't last and why everybody's divorced and why there's like this revolving door of relationships in everybody's lives, right? 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 7, done, right? People can't make it like to the 20-year mark and the 30-year mark. And like, Brother Michael in here, his parents been together like all his life, right? Man's like 40. Who makes it 40 years? People don't make it 40 days anymore because they're not being authentic. And after 5 minutes, your representative is going to stop showing up. And the person is going to be left looking at you, and you're going to be left looking at them, not the representative. So don't date. Don't let your representative do the dating for you. Don't date other people's representatives. This is why I like to push buttons, because I want to get to the truth of you, right? Whoever you are, I want to get to the truth of you. So I'm going to ask those weird, hard, uncomfortable questions that you're not supposed to talk about until later. I think it's backwards, right? Personally, me, I'm more inclined to show the person all the stuff about me that I know they're not likely to think is swell early. Okay, I'm finna show you that stuff before I start rolling off the good stuff, right? I'm finna show them all the stuff that typically meets disapproval first, right? Because why? Because if you want to roll, I prefer you roll sooner than later. You don't wait until I'm all invested, people sleeping together and stuff like that. Now you want to start telling secrets, and now you want to get real, and now you want to, like you date somebody for 6 months, you get together, you sleep together. You've been going and waking up every single morning and going working out for 6 months. You sleep together, the next day you won't get out the bed. Like, I don't think I want to go work out today. I think, the whole working out thing is just not really working for me. What? That's how people are behaving out here. It is not safe, guys. These are perilous end times. People on the edge. We can't be acting like that. We definitely got to do better than that. But that's why I'm single, guys, because people don't connect to me authentically. People are, I don't know. They're not authentic. And I think they don't trust that I like average people. Like, I like exceptional people, but I like average people too. And like, they can't accept that you like them in their average state. And so rather than accept that you're exceptional and they're average and that's okay, at a point when their exceptionalness is revealed to have been a representative and not their authentic self. Now, rather than just like work with it, they will now try to undermine your exceptionalism and make your exceptionalism not exist anymore. And so they're going to say mean stuff. And so, yeah, I hope that this helped some people. I know it was kind of all over the place for an hour, like to talk for an hour. And I don't know if I made any cohesive points, but I just wanted to talk about that a little bit, because I don't know. I think that there's not enough discussion around actual dating. Everybody, first of all, there's like 557,000 YouTubers or influencers who are telling women what they need to do, be, say, think, all of this stuff to attract good men. And I don't know who they're doing all this work for, because y'all men not out, y'all not doing none of the work at all. The men not doing the work. So you got all these relationship gurus out here who are giving these women all this wonderful advice, and we are far outclassing the men because we're actually taking this advice and we're implementing it because we do want healthy relationships. And then the men are out there, nobody's telling men any of this stuff. And then the men are like freaking polar bears or something in relationships. They're just completely uncivilized in relationships compared to the level of personal accountability that women are like inundated. I mean, I can't even tell you when I go to my YouTube that I can expect any given day at least to see a good 4 to 5 YouTube presentations on some way that me as a woman could be more attractive to men or can be more whatever, right? So yeah, Brother Michael, that's what I was hoping for you YouTubers. Brother Michael says it was a good word to those stuck in the gap. And that's where that's a good word for, you're really good, Brother Michael. That's a good word for it, right? It's in this gap. Like, I'm stuck in this gap. I can't really seem to break through it to something that is balanced enough to last. So whatever. Anyway, it's an hour. That's too much talking. I love you guys. Anybody want to say anything? Brother Michael, you want to say anything? Because you're really good. You should we should consider doing a show. You should do like a weekly show with me, and we should talk about stuff because you always give really good feedback, and you're a man, so that'll make it interesting for people because that gender balance does attract a certain kind of mature audiences that want to hear both perspectives, a male and a female perspective on stuff. But if there's nothing anybody wants to add, um, I'm just going to get off of here. I hope that helps somebody. Y'all be glorified, magnified, and praise. Thank you, Uncle. Thank you. Appreciate that. Um, so I'm going to get off here and do some Facebook shenanigans. I love you guys. Mwah. It's your girl Jetty, Empress Jetty, the Rabble Rouser, coming at you live from the She Nation Temple here on the hill, guys. I'm so about that. I'm so grateful. I'm so happy. I'm so full about that reality, right? This is an indigenous community, even though there's not many people in it right now. It's an indigenous spiritual community, legally speaking. There's still some paperwork to be filed to get our classifications correct and stuff like that. But we exist. We have all of our ducks in a row. We are a a recognized charitable indigenous spiritual temple and community. And by we, I basically right now just mean me and the kids because nobody else is here. But if you know people who need refuge, or especially now, guys, it's really cold outside. So if you know people who need shelter, if you know of families where it's like some trouble in the family and they need a safe place for the kids so that they don't end up in foster care, if you know people that need refuge and a place to stabilize, I'm here, right? I'm here. We've got space for people. We've got plenty space for people. And at this point, we can raise the funds. We can figure out a way to be able to afford it. With this banner that we have, it'll let us do some really great work because the need is there, right? That I know that the need is there. I know that there's people out there tonight, cold, wondering where they're going to sleep tonight. Oh, it's going to make me cry. Right? So, send me the people, guys. Send me the people that need a place to come and to heal and to be warm and to be safe and to be free to explore authentic self. It's wintertime. It's really cold. And I have way a lot of space. And I'm not going to do nothing crazy to nobody, Um, so yeah. All right. With that, it's your girl Jetty. I'm out. Thanks for tuning in to our nightcap here at Black Enlightenment, where we're broadcasting consciousness. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I'll see y'all in the morning. For those of you who are going to catch our morning session, I'll be on somewhere between, I don't know, 6 and 7, I imagine. All right. So bless up and shalom. Bye, YouTube.